Welcome to class, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so happy to continue our journey as we explore the beautiful symbiotic relationship between our breath, body, and mind. So, as we know, the Yin practice is really a practice of self-care. And so it gives us this very important opportunity to just slow things down, to observe, to nurture, and to calm ourselves. Because these bodies we have are equipped and they're capable to heal themselves, but this kind of modern day always on approach to life can sometimes disconnect us from that ability to self-heal. And the gentle, spacious Yin approach really gives us a chance to build that bridge back to our body's natural wisdom. And so what is the Yin approach, really? You can think of it like kind of a long, slow breath, slow movements, adopt a yielding nature, and really practice observing whatever's happening with compassion. Because all of these things together help to soothe fight, flight, and help to activate the rest, renewal, and heal response that can cause calm in the body, calm in the mind, and calm in the heart. So that we're not just surviving, but that so we can really flourish and thrive. So how about we begin? We're actually going to start on our backs today, and I'd like you to position a couple of blocks around the midpoint of your mat before you lay onto your back. And you can go ahead and place a blanket underneath your head, and that will provide a cushion for the back of your head. And take your time and begin to stretch out in a way that your body is long and straight and completely comfortable. Just feel your body begin to lean onto the good earth beneath you. So that you feel your whole body and its weight resting onto the floor. And to release a little bit more through the nose, take a long, deep, slow breath in. And then out through the mouth, exhale slowly and completely. And again, slow, long breath in. Open the mouth, exhale. One more, long and deep in through the nose. Through the mouth, long and complete. Now bring your awareness down to your feet. And to begin to observe how your body feels, we're just going to gently guide the attention from bottom to top. Just noticing how each part of your body feels as you release the weight of any condition or requirements of how things should be, and letting things be as they are. Begin with the feet. Notice how your feet feel. Notice any sensations arising within the toes or within the soles or the heels of the feet. And now your ankles. How do the ankles feel? Bring your awareness up into the calves. Notice any areas that feel open or maybe feel tight. And now your knees. What's the state of the knees in this moment? attention into the thighs, left and right. How do the thighs feel? And become aware now of your hips. Feel the weight of the hips on the ground. Are there any sensations to feel within the hips? Guide your attention into your belly. Notice movement within the belly. And into its lower back. Notice if the low back feels relaxed or if it's a bit sore or tight. Maybe you don't notice any sensation at all, and that's okay too. Just let your awareness rest there. See how things are. Move the awareness now up into the chest. Aware of your chest. And deep into the chest to the upper back. What sensations are you feeling in the upper spine? And your shoulders. How do the shoulders feel? Relaxed or tense? Open or at ease? Down into the arms and your hands and fingers. And now awareness up into the neck and the throat. Maybe you sense vibration through the throat. Warmth or coolness as you breathe. And now up into the head and the face. How does the face feel? Right to the top of the head. And in general, how are you feeling? Is there a mood present today? And as you notice how you feel, let go of any judgment of how things should be, letting things be just as they are. Now begin to feel your breath as it flows naturally in and out through the nose. Let the breath flow fully with an effortless ease. And we can use the breath, the direction of the breath and the attention to help to deepen the relaxation and open and sweep through the body. So bring your attention once again down to the feet. And begin to feel or visualize that you can draw your breath in through the soles of the feet, inhaling the breath up through the length of the legs, the hips, torso, neck, right into the head to the crown. And then exhaling the breath down from the crown of the head, down through the neck, the torso, hips, legs, and back out through the soles of the feet. Again, in the same way, inhale up through the soles of the feet, all the way up, the length of the body to the crown. Exhaling down from the crown through the length of the body, all the way back down and out through the soles of the feet. Again, inhaling, feel the breath move slowly and with purpose all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhaling down, sweeping the breath slowly back down all the way through the body and out through the soles of the feet. Continuing on your own a bit now, sweeping the breath up as you inhale. Sweeping down, breathing out. As you practice, stay with a slow, relaxed, easeful breathing. Feel the breath smooth, like a gentle energy brush sweeping up as you inhale, down as you exhale. Slow, seamless breath. Simply sweeping, breathing and relaxing, engaging your body's self-healing mechanism. And now beginning to pause the breath work to observe yourself once again and absorb any effect. And now we'll make our transition, slowly awakening the body, make a little movement, and we'll come into a reclined bridge pose. So for this posture, bend your knees and place your feet so that they're flat on the mat about hip-width distance apart. And then lift your hips and slide your block the lowest level, just underneath the hips, so it's just below the low back area. Settle the hips onto the block. Rest the arms down by the sides, palms up, and begin to kind of become aware of how you're feeling this posture. So you want to feel just a bit of sensation in each of the poses. Not too much, not too little, but just enough sensation so that you can experience both relaxation and mild sensation. Here in this posture, we're targeting the lower back. So you want to feel kind of a diffuse sense of kind of compression through the lower spine. If you're not feeling that already, then you can play with the pose a bit. You might lift the hips to tip the block up now to the second level or even to the third level so that you're feeling it in the lower back. Another option is to extend your legs straight down the mat. So heels are a good distance away from each other onto the floor. Legs are long for an extended bridge variation. And then you can match that with arms overhead at an angle that feels good, like a nice opening for your shoulders. So as you kind of move with awareness slowly into a shape that suits your body, you're scanning to notice where you're feeling it. In addition to the low back here, likely you can feel how this shape kind of tugs and pulls through the whole front side of the body. Through the tops of the thighs, the belly, the chest. You might feel a general expansion through the whole length of this fascia that runs from the bottoms of the feet to the crown of the head, helping to hold us together. As you watch, allow your muscles to release and relax as much as possible. Because in Yin, really the two sides of the coin are whole body relaxation blended with mild sensation. Let your body be relatively still, but be sure to make changes to the pose whenever necessary. Take breaks whenever your body requests. We'll typically hold each posture between 3 to 5 minutes. But what's most important is you honor what your body needs moment by moment. Now you might try sweeping the breath in the same way, inhaling up through the soles of the feet, deep through the length of the body to the crown, and exhale, gently sweeping the breath back down from the crown and out through the soles of the feet. You might feel the breath move into the torso, sweeping into the torso, into the abdomen that can hold so much tension. And then the breath sweeping up and into the chest, where the breath can be shallow from fatigue or concerns. Feel the breath sweeping into the chest, expanding the space deep into the lungs. We have about 3 more sweeping breaths here. And now, preparing for your transition, place your feet to the floor, press into the feet, lower the arms, lift the hips just a little bit to slide the block out of your way and lower the hips down. Walk your feet so that they're mat width distance apart, knees fall together for a knee knock pose. Feel the low back soften to the floor. Go ahead and reach the arms out wide and then wrap them around you with your right arm over your left so that your hands kind of reach around the back of your body. Let that create nice space through the upper back muscles as you allow the spine to rest. Now re-extend your arms out to the sides. Take a breath in. And with the exhale, re-embrace. Left arm over right. Wrap the arms around you. Let this be a marked moment, an invitation to warmly embrace all parts of yourself as you move forward in your practice. And now we'll begin to transition. So you can just roll onto your side. Use your top hand to gently press yourself up to a seated position. And we'll move into our next posture, which is a toes pose. So let's use a blanket underneath the knees to provide some extra compression, to prevent compression between the knees and the floor. And then take your bolster and place it in front of you widthwise. Have your blocks handy. And for this posture, what we're going to do is tuck the toes under behind. So your hips are kind of over your knees, toes are tucked under. And this could be your posture right here, resting the hands onto the bolster, working into the feet here. If you need more stimulation, then you can stand onto your knees. And for others, you might find that you sit directly onto the heels or with a block in between the heels and your sit bones. Kind of a place in between, which I'll show here, is just placing the blocks between the ankles and using the hands to kind of lift out of the pose if you're somewhere in between the levels of sensation. Now, if the hands are free, we could do a little shoulder work. So you stretch your arms out, turn the palms down and away from you, reach the arms behind, and hold either opposite hands to opposite elbows or maybe forearms or wrists. If it works to go deeper into the wrist, then reverse namaste. Come to the tops of the finger pads and turn the fingers to face up as you draw the palms towards one another. Okay. And then as you begin to notice where you feel this, keep blending this mild sensation with relaxation. So let your attention move through the spaces of sensation, helping to release and relax those tissues. And then maybe let your breath do the same. Gently sweeping your breath through spaces of sensation, through the toes, the fascia, the ankles of the feet. Have a few more moments here. Notice any effect of the sweeping breath through the feet, the toes. And slowly unravel the arms if you're holding. Place your hands to the bolster. Untuck the toes so the tops of the feet rest flat. Stay like this or rock your hips back towards your heels. In this kind of parallel leg child's pose, rest the forehead onto the bolster, drape the arms, and use the stillness. Just to feel whatever might be there in this moment. Attention deep to the surface of the skin. And now slowly, as you're ready, rise back up. We'll do one more round of toes pose, and you're welcome to just come to a seated position and work the shoulder work or combine the two. So beginning to move into your variation, ease your way in, tuck the toes under, and decide, will you let the arms hang free or maybe work back into the shoulders, reach the arms out, palms down and away from you, arms reach back. This time for me, I'm just going to hold on to the elbows here. It's been enough for my wrists. Do what's best for you. So keep joining mild sensation with relaxation. This is one of the many ways this practice is so powerful, because we're training and inducing whole body relaxation even while working with sensations. So each time we breathe through discomfort or a challenge, we're really strengthening our central nervous system to be calmed by the breath. Soothing the body, soothing the mind. About 3 more sweeping breaths here, maybe moving the breath gently in and up through the toes and the fascia of the feet. And back down and out and through the feet. Okay, slowly transition out. Coming back to relaxing the tops of the feet onto the floor. Stay up high. Or if it suits you, rock the hips back, resting in your child's pose. Again, explore the stillness. What is there to feel before moving? And now, if not already, come back up to like your tabletop position and go ahead and tap gently the tops of the feet. And as you do this, just notice now, what are the effects of movement on sensation, on your awareness? Does your breath change? And then let's go ahead and transition into our next posture. So next we will come into a hip opener. And so for this posture, you can have something underneath the sit bones to elevate the hips in the case that when you start to create the position, that you kind of rock back onto your low back. So you're going to extend the legs out in front of you and curl your toes back towards your knees, and then turn the toes slowly out towards the sides of the room. Cross your right shin, I'm mirroring you, in front of your left. So you're like in a Sukhasana pose, and the heels are close to the pelvic floor. This tends to be the most gentle on the knees. If your knees allow and they're not compromised at all, or your hips, you can walk your feet forward and then kind of away from each other. And as you walk the feet away from each other, they come to land more or less underneath the knees, and this is square pose. If everything's still feeling pretty settled here, you can then move into fire log, which is a stacking of the shins. So right shin on top of left. Sometimes this right knee will pop up, and you might want to place a blanket or a block underneath there for support. And then from there, we're going to prepare for a twist. So really settling down through the sit bones, lifting up through the spine. You're going to begin to turn now to your right. So left hand outside of right thigh for an anchor, right fingertips behind you. And just notice that your shoulders are nicely aligned over the hips. That will support the integrity of your spine in your twist. As you gaze back, you bring a little more energy into the neck. And see if you can stay with the yin way. And find a sustainable level of sensation. Then let the body be still. And just savor this energy of letting be. As you watch with kind and curious eyes. And begin to untwist. Look forward. untwist through the spine, and just take a moment to feel the release. Now another opportunity to work into the shoulders. Go ahead, reach your arms out wide, take an inhale, and with your exhale, bring the right arm over the left and wrap your arms around you like we did when you're on our backs. So you can stay like this, or if the shoulders allow, bring the backs of hands to touch, or even cross the wrists. Now for some, it's just right to stay here. For others, folding will feel better for the shoulders and the hips. So everyone start with a straight back, maintain that as you come forward, and then if it's okay on the low back, you can round more into the shape. Now throughout practice today, you want to avoid any painful sensations, so kind of any tingling numbness or sharp and shooting or real localized sensations. Keep what you're feeling mild so that you can still relax into the shape. So make a slow inward journey through the body to become aware of sensations. And likely you're feeling this through the IT band, the lateral side of the legs, deep into the glutes, the SI, the piriformis area through the glutes. And now you can stay where you are, but just unravel the arms. Free fall forward, or maybe staying upright with the arms just resting down. Maybe try gently sweeping the breath, sweeping in and up through the feet. Sweeping now into the hips, into sensation. Really, where so many things can get tucked away. With kindness, letting the breath sweep through the hips. Giving more space. Sweeping and sweeping. Feel more relaxation moving slowly in. And we'll begin to transition. Walk your hands back towards you. Slowly rise on up. Uncross the legs. And let's take a break in a Shavasana posture. So stretching out long onto your back. Props to the side. Practice staying present to the moment with your gentle, open attention. And now to transition, just place your feet on the mat, a good distance away from each other with your knees bent. Let the knees drop side to side. Just windshield wiper the legs a moment to continue to free up and clear the energy through legs and hips. And draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock to your side to come up, or rock and roll forward and back to come up to seated. And we'll set up for the other side. So once again, elevate the hips if you find that you're kind of rounding in the low back as you come into your seat. And go ahead and stretch your legs out in front of you. Curl your toes back towards your knees. And cross your left shin in front of your right this time. So Sukhasana pose, first option, heels close to the body. Walk the feet further away from you to move into square pose and walk the feet further away from each other without bringing them back towards you so that the feet are more underneath the knees. Or bring the left shin to sit on top of the right for fire log. Okay. And then preparing for your twist, sit nice and tall. And begin to twist now to the left. Left hand behind you, right hand outside of left leg. So feel your spine straight. And then allow all the muscles to loosen and drape along its length. So there's no holding there. Relaxing all the muscles of the spine as much as possible while you stay upright. And now look forward, unwind. Take a pause to feel the effect. Stretch the arms out wide, take an inhale. With the exhale, left arm under right for your twisted branches variation. Hands reach back, backs of hands touch, or maybe you cross the wrists. You'll remember you can stay upright or begin to descend very slowly to your degree of sensation forward and down. Round the spine if the low back allows. If not, then keep the spine straight. You might have a bolster underneath the arms or under the forehead here. So scan the body to watch the places, the areas receiving the stimulation, the hips, the glutes, maybe the upper back and shoulders. Stay with each sensation long enough to feel it to feel what's happening there before you try to change it right away. And now maybe you unravel the arms, just let them hang freely. And you might be gently now sweeping the breath in and up through the bottoms of the feet, into the areas where you're feeling it, around and through, and then very slowly back down and out through the soles of the feet. Intentional whole body breathing like this sends a message to body, mind, and spirit, communicating all's completely okay. All is well. Gently climb out, walk your hands towards you. Take your time as you come up, as you unbend the legs one at a time. Likely the bones, the joints will all feel a bit fragile. That's natural. Go ahead and make the shift onto your back to rest, lying flat on your back. As you notice, as you look within, remind yourself there's nothing you need to judge, there's nothing that needs changing or fixing. But rather here we can strengthen our natural ability, our inner know-how, to stay with it. Whether it's neutral, dark or difficult, bold or beautiful. Sensing, relaxing, and maybe sweeping the breath in and up and through and down and out. Three more breaths here. And when you're ready, bend your knees, separate your feet so they're met with distance apart, and then let the knees gently drop side to side, back and forth. Draw knees into chest in your own way. Come up to seated. And now we're going to set up for dragonfly pose. So once again, prop the hips if you feel a rounding in the low back at all. So you want to maintain a natural curve in the lower back, kind of an inward arch. So the first option for this posture is to bend your knees, place your feet wide. We want to start to feel some sensation through the inner legs. This is track 1. For track 2, you straighten out the legs for a moment, but then bend. Again, I'll mirror you. Bend that left knee, place the left foot to the inner right leg somewhere. It could be that there's some strain underneath either or both of these knees, in which case you could slide a blanket underneath there or a block to support. And then take your other 2 blocks, place them beside, the third option is to have both legs straight out to a straddle position. Then take both blocks and place them on either side of your right thigh and just prop that bolster on top. We're going to come into a lateral side bend. So sitting tall, begin to twist a little bit to your left. Lengthen nicely through the sides of the body. Take an inhale, and with your exhale, begin to side bend over the right leg. So in a way that you are leaning over the leg, I'm going to have my arm under the bolster under the crook of my arm, but you can maybe have your elbow on the floor or on your leg. Make adjustments as you need to. And then from there, the left hand can stay low, or to work into that top shoulder, Float the left arm up high and let it rest overhead. Maybe interlace the fingers behind the head. Ideally, you're kind of gently steering the left chest open, so the left side of the chest is stacked over the right. So you get a real nice expansion and opening through the sides of the rib cage, as well as deep into the legs, maybe the inner legs as well as the backs of the legs here. If that left elbow gets tired, no problem, just let the left elbow rest or lower the left hand to the floor. Looking up if that suits your neck, or looking down. And then eventually choosing stillness. And begin to guide your attention into the places of sensation. Be inquisitive. Let each sensation come fully into your attention, both sensing and relaxing. We have one more minute here. Okay, to release, left hand down to the left hip, right hand presses into the floor or prop to slowly rise on up. Just pausing there at center to feel any after effect. And let's go to the other side. So make that shift of your props, and of course you can be as creative as you need to make the shape your own. So one suggestion is to have the bolster propped, but maybe for some you don't need a bolster at all. And so now we'll start by sitting tall and then turning to the right. Lengthen, and then begin to drape your body over the left leg in a way that you're turning the chest open and side bending rather than forward folding. Okay, and then the right hand stays down, or right arm floats up to work into that shoulder more. Maybe there's a bind of fingers behind the head. If you had the left leg bent to the right thigh, then you would just change that and place the right foot to the inner left thigh, if that feels better than having both legs straight or knees bent. See if you can feel the energy brush of your breath. Just feel your breath, moving these gentle like bristles through the legs, sweeping with kind intention the breath through the legs, inner legs, backs of legs. Breath sweeping, clearing away any fatigue, tension, tightness through the legs. Maybe that breath now moves up into the shoulders and the arms. About a half a minute remaining. And go ahead, lower your right hand to your right hip. Use your left hand, press into it, slowly rise on up. Take that pause to notice. And when you're ready, shift your props to the side. And the legs can be a bit fragile. Again, that's natural. Bend the knees a little bit. Place your hands on your knees so you can gather your legs together. Come to a seated child's pose. Feet flat. Wrap on in. Maybe drop in, chin towards chest. Notice how rest feels. Not always easy, but certainly a necessity. And gently, as you're ready, lift the gaze, open the eyes. We'll continue our journey through the body, now moving more into the legs. And actually, this can be a whole body posture depending on how it works for you. Take your blanket and open it up so it kind of spans. You're going to place it around the front third of your mat so it spans across the edges of the mat. I find that's a nice way to cushion for the ankles if you need it. And then let's use the props to get started. You're going to take your bolster and angle it up so that the block is underneath the bolster, the second height, and it's kind of angled like so. And then from there, we're going to sit in front of the bolster so that you're kind of a couple of inches away from it. Have your strap handy as well. You might want to use that. You're sitting on the blanket. Walk your feet so that they're mat width distance apart. And then drop your knees down to your right. Knees drop down to the right. So this is the first option, staying up high here, working internal external rotation through the hips, or beginning to lower onto the bolster behind you. If this feels pretty good, then take your left foot and place your left heel more towards your left outer hip. And then go ahead and straighten your right leg down the mat. Now again, you can stay, or you can begin to lean back onto the bolster. As you lean back, you might find that you would like to have like a blanket underneath the head here for a little extra support. You could certainly set that up for yourself. And this is a saddle variation. Stay like this, or bend the right knee, place the right foot to the floor. You could also use your strap around your right shin, hold the strap in both hands, and coax the right thigh into the right side chest. If you don't need the strap, then you just interlace the fingers to hold somewhere around that shin. So these are all just opportunities or possibilities to get into different parts of your body. Now, if you're in this posture where you're laying onto the bolster and it's on an angle and you're not really feeling anything, then I would suggest taking the block out from underneath the bolster and just lay directly with the bolster on the floor onto the bolster. If you're still not feeling anything in your body, then you slip the bolster to the side and lay with your back directly onto the floor. So you're scanning kind of to sense here where the sensations are arising. You might be feeling something through the left ankle, left knee, low back, frontline fascia of the rectus abdominis up into the chest, maybe the shoulders. The arms can drape out to the sides. It can be nice to reach the arms overhead. Just rest them onto the bolster. Watching sensations, but also to noticing if any thoughts might be coming up or any particular mood or feeling. Notice what and how and where. Is there space to let it be, to be felt? just to hold with kindness whatever is here with you in this moment. Maybe take that breath, that sweeping breath, into tissues of holding, gently sweeping through. Just watching how body and breath communicate with one another. Just over a minute remaining in this shape. Now, whatever position you're in, be sure to use your core and your shoulders and arms to gently press yourself up if you reclined back. And then roll to the outer right hip if the left knee is bent. Let's all arrive with straight, long legs. And then either reclining onto your angled bolster. For some of you, you might be flat on your back, and that's great too. Take your rest. And can you sense how your breath and your attention have open space in the body? Deepening relaxation in the body, opening space into the mind. All opening space into the heart. This heart within you naturally capable of holding with great tenderness and care whatever happens to arise. And now, begin to slowly press yourself upright, and we are going to go into the saddle variation for the other side. So bend your knees, place your feet separate to either side of the mat. This time knees will drop down to your left, and this is option 1, staying up or reclining back. Again, maybe support could go underneath the knees here if they feel like they need that, a blanket or a block. You can also place your right heel towards your right hip. Stay like that, or straighten your left leg. Choose your variation up high or begin to recline back. And then some of those other options, left knee bends, left foot to the floor, left thigh cradles in towards the left side chest, all possibilities for you to explore on this side. Adjust the arms. Relax the length of the spine either onto your bolster, onto the floor. And come back to sensing and breathing, relaxing. Tara Brach tells a funny little story. So she speaks about this dog who comes to visit her one day in her yard, neighbor's dog, and the dog follows her into her house and down the hallway and into a room where her dogs are sleeping, jumps up onto the couch and falls asleep. It takes a nap there. Well, the other dogs didn't seem to mind, so she just let the dog stay there. About an hour later, the dog just gets up, walks down the hallway, motions her to, kind of barks and motions her to go, open the door, and the dog leaves. Well, much to her surprise, this happens over and over for a couple of weeks. The dog keeps returning, taking a nap on her sofa, and then about an hour later leaving. So she decides to pin a note onto the dog's collar, and it says, "I don't know if you know, but your dog comes to visit us every afternoon and takes a nap here. I don't mind, but I just wanted to let you know and make sure it's okay." And so the next day the dog comes back with a different note pinned to its collar, and it reads, "The dog lives in a home with 3 other children in it. It's trying to catch up on its sleep. May I come with him tomorrow?" And so it's just a gentle reminder, right, that we need being as much as we need doing. So your time spent here can help make all that difference. A little over a minute remaining. Once again, use core strength, shoulder strength. Slowly begin to ease yourself upright. Roll to the outer left leg, unbend that right knee if it is, and recline back to rest either onto the angled bolster or onto the floor. As we come closer to Shavasana now, we can let go of directing the breathing. At some point, we can all benefit from letting it go, letting go of the managing, the techniques. And simply allow yourself to feel how things are in this moment. we can have, it's not always easy, but we can have faith in the universal design, kind of our place in it. Knowing and trusting all is exactly in this moment how it should be. And now slowly begin to ease yourself upright. Once again, just to prepare now for your final relaxation. And so you can place a blanket under your head. You can place a bolster underneath your knees as you stretch out onto your back. Maybe you lie on your belly or your side to rest. Choose what will be most relaxing for you. You can even roll the blanket up underneath the knees to provide some support for the low back. And begin to find your shape. I'm going to come to seated just to guide you through your relaxation. Just give the weight of your body over to the earth. Feel the front of your body sink into the back of your body. Feel how the back of your body is sinking into the floor. Feel your body soft. Your breath at ease. Mind and heart at ease. In closing reflection, someone once said the goal of yoga, no, it's not handstand. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible is not the goal. Standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil the layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and then become aware of the mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. Shavasana. And gently beginning to awaken, moving the toes and the fingers, stretching a bit the arms and the legs. As you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest. And in your own time, in your own way, coming up to seated. Let us close together. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up and overhead, touch the palms. Exhale, bring the thumbs down to the third eye center. May your thoughts, thumbs to the lips, may your words, thumbs to the heart, may your actions bless your heart and all the hearts around you in this rare and beautiful moment that is your life. Bowing to each other in honor, we say, Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your practice, and I really hope that it brings you many lovely benefits as you move through your week. I will be around for the next little bit in the forum to answer any questions or be of any assistance, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.